hate using words because management loves to talk those words, and half the time they don't know what they mean. So I'm going to make an example here, and it's going to be kind of a lousy example, but it's the best I can do with off the cuff. And we've got Darren the drag racer. And Darren the drag racer has got this old junky car, and he decides, hey, I'm going to turn that into a sleeper, and boy, I'm going to just burn up the drag strip. So Darren goes out and he reads everything he can about modifying engines. And he modifies that engine. That car can put out a ton of horsepower, a ton of torque. And he installs it in his old body there. Takes it out to the drag strip. Light turns yellow, 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 green, and he tromps the gas. He pops the clutch, and boy, he burns the heck out of the tires. I mean, there is smoke flying everywhere. This car can put some horsepower out. It just can't get it to the road, and he loses the drag race. And he's like, oh man, I got to do some thinking here. So he starts thinking, I got to get it to the ground. So he decides that he's going to buy him some brand new tires. He buys some big old slicks on that, soft rubber. I mean, these things will stick to the pavement. And he takes it back out to the drag strip next time, and everything works okay. He hears he at least doesn't smoke his tires, but what he does hear is he hears it kind of sounding like a yipping dog, you know, yip, 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 yip. And the car is bouncing all over the place. He's having a heck of a time trying to steer it on down that straight road there. So he says, oh man, I think I might need to be doing some suspension work. So he goes back and he reads a whole bunch about suspensions. And then he puts himself some traction bars on there, and he changes the springs and the shocks and all that kind of stuff. And now all of a sudden that car, he puts it back out there on the drag strip. Light goes yellow, 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 green. He pops the clutch, and nothing happens, but he hears this kind of thump. And all of a sudden half of his drivetrain leaves his car, because since parts are no longer slipping back there, and he's got all that horsepower in the front, he doesn't have the rear end in his car, the differential, or the drive shaft to get the job done. It twisted that drive shaft right in two. So back to the drawing board. The total would be, we got to integrate this process. Now I sound like the management style. And like, well, okay, we can integrate it, but we better look at the details. Well, I'm a 50,000 mile away person. I just want it done. Well, it takes time. So it's the constant conflict, and that's the constant conflict that you, if you are making things, are going to have within yourself. The problem is that, you usually don't talk to yourself like I just did. But you are going to have to deal with that. When do I look at details? When do I look at the total? We have chosen a big job for ourselves, but we can take it. Yes. If there's any females out there, and I noticed it on my YouTube videos, I have very few females. You can do it too. This ain't nothing about the plumbing that you are endowed with. It's basically whether you want to take something on. And anyhow, that's another way of looking at what I'm trying to say. Hopefully one of these ways that I'm looking at is one that'll hit with you. It'll resonate. There's one of them big words that I hate. It'll resonate with you. As you can tell, it's starting to rain here. You can hear it beating on the car windshield and probably the roof. So I'm going to have to stop this anyhow. But I think I pretty well wore this subject out. Appreciate you listening. This is Gary Fox of Create and Make.